What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I don't even know where I left off. I think last video was me trying to figure out the voltage issue with the fuel pressure dropping. Well, let me give you a little update on that. So I did manage to go ahead and up the cable sizes, added more grounds, anything possible for voltage. I don't think the voltage is really an issue. I did check the voltage output out of the alternator, and it's showing me 13.5, which is a little low. I'm gonna crank it up. It's got like a little regulator in the back. But by the time it gets to the other stuff in the car, the ECU and whatnot, it only drops 0.1 volts. So the drop is not insane. Still pretty good. 13.4 all across. I'm seeing on the dash sometimes 13.5, even 13.6. So voltage is pretty good there. Now when we start getting to the fuel side, everything looks pretty good. It's dash A line coming in. As it gets out of the tank, it goes through the inline filter and then through the ethanol content sensor. And then it comes all the way over here. That's a dash A line. Goes to the rail, comes back out into the regulator, and then from a regulator it goes dash 6 AN line all the way back to the tank. That's the return. So a pretty simple setup. Everything looks pretty good on it. Dual DW400 pumps in the tank. So this whole setup should be able to support a lot of horsepower. No issues making it to 1,000. I call this work many times to discuss what could be the cost here, and they don't even have a clue of what could be going on because everything looks perfect. So leads me to believe that maybe there's a voltage drop at the pumps, which I hooked up some cables to it, multimeter right here, and I took it out for a spin, and the voltage is kind of low out there. It's 12.8, 12.9 at 8,000 RPM. So that's a little low. Maybe, just maybe, that's causing the pumps to not operate at full capacity. Who knows? So I'm gonna up the volts right here at the alternator to make it go all the way to 14 volts and get the pumps past 13 volts, and then see what happens with the fuel pressure. Alright guys, let me give you an update here. I just took the car for a drive. I upped the voltage on the alternator. It's got like a little knob on the controller, and now I'm getting 14 volts at the battery and 13.6 at the pump. So the voltage is not a problem anymore. I'm still having the same fuel drop. Nothing changed by upping the voltage. So there's nothing else in the system that will be a restriction other than the top hat. Let me show you. This right here is what I'm inclining to. This is an old system that Speed Performance used to sell for when you do the port injection. This is a long time ago, mind you. This was, Jesus, I want to say 2015, 16 maybe. So this used to carry two W300 pumps that supported my my port injection, and then I still had the direct injection with the mechanical pump. So right now I have all that deleted, and I'm only running this top hat for the port injection with two DW400 pumps. Now what I think is happening is that this little thing right here is a restriction. Both of the pumps flow into this to then get out of this hose. Those pumps, I talked to Ditchworks, and they have an internal valve that is the pressure in here gets above 100 psi, it bleeds inside of the tank. It doesn't send it through the line anymore. So that's my theory. I think because I see the fuel pressure start to go up, and then it tapers right back down. It gets to 60 psi and then it drops to 40. I'm thinking this is the problem. This doesn't flow as I'm hoping it does. So the game plan is, well, actually they told me I can send this whole assembly to Ditchworks and then they're gonna flow test it. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and upgrade the whole thing, buy a radium top hat for dual pumps and dash 10 line, because this is only an 8, and no matter how much I up this fitting right here, the hole coming out of it is still small. So I'm gonna just upgrade the whole thing, and I'll see where we at. All right, check it out. So I got, this is a surge tank from Pittsburgh. So it's a 5.5 up to 3 pumps. You can see in the bottom, you can put 3 pumps in there. And you can do DW 300, 200, 300s, and the 400s. So you can do them all. Here are adapters for them, because the other ones are a little skinnier. So it comes with the fittings and stuff. The one thing it doesn't come with are the IN stuff, which is a bummer, because now I need to find 2 plugs for this guy. And the reason why is because I'm not gonna be using the surge tank. I'm gonna adapt this to my factory tank and use it like a top hat. Now these for sure is proven that flows, so if there's a flow restriction, this will take care of it, and I'm trying to eliminate any sort of issue. This is what it looks like from the bottom. Looks pretty cool, very high quality. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and adapt this to my tank, and I'm also gonna do an aluminum basket for it, just to make sure that the pumps don't starve at any point. Just a little extra precaution there. But yeah, that's the plan. So let me go and take care of it. Oh, that's really on there. I'm not gonna mess with it. I don't have to, so I'm gonna keep them on there. And those are few hoses, by the way. Those are rated for E85. You can see they're still pretty hard. They haven't gone soft or any of that. And I ran these on my previous setup as my few feet all the way to the front. No issues. Alright, so right here I got my fuel tank. I made these a while back. It's a 7.5 gallon tank. It's way smaller and lighter than factory. But this hole right here, this bolt pattern, is not the same as the new that I'm putting on. The hole also needs to be a little bigger. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I think I'm gonna cut. I think I'm gonna cut this tank. This top piece is a billet part. I think I'm just gonna cut right on the weld and weld that on top of my tank, since it's already got the opening and the bolt pattern. So I'm gonna cut a square hole like that right on top of the tank, right on here, and weld that piece to it, and that's it. And then from there I'm gonna take the depth and set up the pumps at the correct elevation, and that's it. Pretty simple. Alright, so I got this thing welded, and man, it was a struggle. The techniques of this aluminum, I have my welder maxed out, and it was a challenge, to say the least. But it's on there. It's one piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the fuel pump. Check it out. Perfect fitment as expected. I mean, it looks pretty nice. Looks like it's meant to be. If I would have painted the whole tank in black, it would have matched pretty nice, but who cares about that? Anyways, the only thing I'm missing here is I want to make a basket for it. So I'm waiting for this aluminum pipe. It's a 5-inch aluminum pipe, which I'm going to make a little basket just to, you know, make sure the pumps, when the G forces move all the fuel back, even though it's got a weight breaker, I want to make sure the pump still got, you know, fuel and they don't starve. So I'm gonna make a basket for that, but I gotta wait for that, which I'll show you next. Well, I was gonna make a basket for this, but I run into an issue. Here's my pipe. I had to reduce that in size to fit on there through that opening. But the problem is that then the pumps don't fit. That hole is so exact to these pumps, to this hi-hat anyway, that I don't have any room left. Here, let me show you. See how exact this fits in here. See that? Which, perfect, right? But then if I try to put it in here, it won't go past this point. All right, so I put it all back together. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it like this. Try to have the tank full at all times. Just so you know, it does have a weight breaker right here, so it will help with that. You know, slush inside the tank. But if it becomes an issue, I'm thinking of adding foam inside the tank. That's something that race cars do. They have foam inside of it. It lets fuel move, but it prevents all the slush. So I might look into that and add some foam in there, at least around the pump here. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and install all this back on the car and see what it does. All right, guys, it's done. All installed. Now I gotta go test it out. Hopefully this works. All right, let's go for a little ride. I'm out of options at this fucking point. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Not even the people that make these not ECUs, the fuel pumps. They don't know what's going on. Everybody I talk to, they don't know what the hell's going on. Let me show you here. I'm still having the same damn issue. And I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I'll show you guys. So this is a log I just did. And this one keeps it simple. This one only shows sensors. So if I click here, that's that yellow line. That yellow line is my fuel pressure. You can see it's going up as it should, and then it takes a shit. At the highest point, it made 74.5 0.33 psi, and then it dips down to 54, which not ideal. It lets me do the run because I'm not pushing that much psi. I'm on spray pressure right now, so it lets me do it. But you can tell right here that was 6,400 RPMs. From 6,400 RPMs to the end of the run here, it took a crap. And yeah, you just saw me do that. I added, so 2 pumps are on, which is a lot of fucking fuel. They're DW400 pumps. Yeah, I don't know what else it could be. I'm literally speechless. And the fuel filter, I took the filter out just to make sure it was not clogged and it was not a restriction. Here's the filter. It's from Radium, so it's good stuff. It's not some cheap ass oil fuel filter. Then if I open the hood here, open the hood, and what do we got? We got also a Radium fuel pressure regulator, and then down there is the ethanol content sensor. So as you can see here, it's a pretty simple system. Now why it's dropping, not fucking clue. Okay, no idea. It doesn't leak anywhere. So at this point I don't know what else I can check. I'm out of ideas. The only one thing I can think of is the size of the line, bumping it to a 10 AN, which will benefit me in the long run anyways. I have an 8 AN right now. I don't know, man. I feel like 8 AN should be sufficient to make 600 or whatever the hell it makes on spring pressure. I think the dynos say 560. So yeah, 2 pumps should definitely be able to do that. So why is it doing this? Not fucking clue. It was doing the same shit with my previous regulator. I had a AEM regulator, still doing the same crap. And a single pump. I had a DW300. Again, nothing has changed. I'm tired of changing parts and nothing getting better. So here's another log. This is with the previous setup where I had the that guy over there, that other top hat, which I suspected was a little holding up my fuel, and it did get better. If you look here, before you used to only get to 68 psi, and then it would drop down to 39 psi. So it did went up, and the drop is not as drastic. This is a very drastic drop. The other one is a little stepping drop. So it did get better, meaning that this new system flows better than before, but it's still doing the same crap at the exact same point. Right at 6,000 RPMs or so. Where are my RPMs at? Oh, right here. This one starts dropping a little sooner actually. By 5,800 it's dropping all the way up to right line. So one now is this one, select log. So you can see this one peaks at 6,400 RPM. So it went a little past the normal point, and it went all the way to 74 psi, so it gained like 5 psi there, and then it drops down to 53. You see the steps. It's not as a drastic drop, so it got better, but still not what it's supposed to be doing. This shit is supposed to keep going up, like to 90 psi, close to 100, and it's not doing it. This is another thing that improved right here. My fuel pressure differential offset and the fuel pressure correction frame, that both of them got significantly smaller. You can see here my percentage is up to 50% on the red and negative 30 on the other one. If we go back to my current log, you can see here it went down. My frame went down to 25% instead of 50, and the other one is minus 17. So it got better, but not great. So anyway, maybe upping the fuel line size will do the trick, going to a 10AN, but at this point I'm out of ideas. So if any of you have any answers or any suggestions, I'm open to hear anything, because at this point I have nothing else to check. Like I said, I talked to many companies already and they got no clue what the hell is going on. The only solution, the only other thing I can try is to go ahead and get like a little external tank and put like an inline pump straight to the battery, just to see what the hell it does. I'm looking for a different result. I need to narrow down what the hell's going on. I don't know at this point, honestly. Is it electrical? Is it plumbing? You guys tell me. Anyways, it's so frustrating. This is the update of the speed. This is why you haven't seen it on the channel. Is because I've been battling this crap. I don't know what to do anymore. So again, open to suggestions. I'll see you on the next one.